Well, as a team, what you want to do is, when a test match starts, you want to win the test match. But according to me, how the gradation goes is you look for a win, then the draw, and then you fight it out, so that you don't lose a test match. So uh, I think the second innings bowling was very good for us. But somehow, we find ourselves in some kind of trouble, and this innings also, we gave them lead of close to 60 or 70 runs. And we got wickets in the second innings, but again, the lower order contributed, and they had enough score to defend, and it was very tough to score over 300 runs on this kind of wicket, in one day. So overall, quite happy. We lost early wickets. We always try to test ourselves. That's what it seems like. Again, we put pressure on ourselves as if there was not enough pressure, and we had to fight it out. And overall, if I see, it's a good performance by the team. Again, as I said in the post-match presentation, we play with 4 bowlers, which means it becomes slightly tough on our bowlers. But I was very happy with the way Ashwin bowled, because he was able to contain, and after that he got wickets also. So he really helped out the fast bowler, especially the fact that we are bowling first on this wicket. Well, I have 2 answers to that. It depends on what kind of an answer people want. I can answer a spicy one. I can want a very sober answer. But I would say, it's their territory. Let them decide. And it's up to them, when they really want to declare. Well, certainly it's good for the spectators. If you see what the spectators, apart from playing good cricket, loads of runs, sixes, fours and wickets, they love if the opposition, they are having a go at each other. But at the same time, as international cricketers, we know the boundaries, and certainly all the players should fall within the boundaries and should respect the privacy of the opposition players also. So till those guidelines are followed, I'm quite happy with it. But in this game, the temperature was high, as has been throughout this series. It was not only this test match. And as you rightly said, from both the sides, there were quite a few loose shots that were played. But overall, if you see, it was good cricket, 5 days of good cricket, apart from the fact that first innings, both the teams scored big, and still in the second innings, there was chance of a result. So overall, quite happy with the performance. Well, to some extent, I would say that. The reason being, if you see Adelaide, it was a wicket that was assisting the spinners, and if we had a bit of partnership going, we lost a couple of quick wickets over there. If we had played the number of overs, the result would have been in our favor if we have not got all out. That's what it suggests, if you see from the outside. So that could have played on their minds. And Rahul, the decision was, the reason behind promoting Rahul was, he also is an opener, and also the fact we thought, there may come a situation where what really happened could happen, and then, Pujara is a better man to have at that point of time. And also at the same time, it gives us a chance to test Rahul, because he is a top order batsman. He was batting really well in the net sessions and everything. So we thought, he can also do well at number 5 or number 6. And we shouldn't really judge him on just one performance. He's someone, who looks very compact and who looks very good. And this is the new era of cricketers, where they want to play the shots to get out of pressure situations. So it can be taken as a positive. Also, he's somebody who loves playing his stroke. So overall, I was quite happy with his approach. It didn't pay in this game, but maybe, he's definitely someone for us to look, ahead into the future. Well, there was one thing for sure. Before going into the test match even, we knew we couldn't really win this series. So that's something that we have to get terms with. This test match, as I said, once we went in, we wanted to win this test match. Then with the turn of tide and over 5 days of cricket, till we started batting today, it was quite a well-placed game, and it was difficult for us to be the winner by the time we started our batting. So from that point, and after losing a couple of early wickets and then Vijay getting out, we were definitely in a position where we could have lost this game. But overall, again, there was a partnership between Virat and Ajinkya, and I felt, after that we would accept the result of a draw as a fair result. The reason being, we were in a position of trouble, and from there to get out and get a draw is good enough, because definitely you don't really want to lose a test match. Well, definitely he's someone who's doing really well. He's very compact. He knows his limitation, but At the same time, he is someone who's close to VVS Lakshman. I'm not saying technically, but how he bats. If when he's batting, you'll see runs, they will flow. He's not someone who can bat for a period of time without accumulating runs. So that's definitely a big positive, especially the fact if he's batting at 5 or 6, especially in these conditions when the ball gets a bit old. It's good to have somebody like him, who fluently rotates the strike and if needed plays the big shot also. There's still plenty for him to learn, and I feel that's something, or that's an area where he has been really good, right from the very first test match or the first good innings that he played in the ODIs to, there was a span when he didn't do well in the ODIs. How he has changed his game, what he has learned. He has actually put that forward really well. So definitely he is exciting. He's somebody who's really good, and hopefully we'll see better performances from him. Well, it has happened a few times, but not a lot of times. And also you have to see on wickets like these, at times what you may term as a loose shot can actually be the wicket to some extent misbehaving, or people look to score runs. And if you see a lot of the Australian batsmen also, they got out because they were looking for runs, and it was slightly difficult. Even on the first day, it was not a wicket where the opposition, even us, scored over 320 or 330 runs. That has been the case in Australia. More often than not, you see more than 330 runs scored. We are one side that still play a bit of conservative cricket, test cricket, but still we get a lot of runs. So, it was a different wicket. We have to accept that. And quite a few, you may term it as loose shots, but at the end of the day, nobody wants to get out. So it all goes into the bank as a learning curve, and, hopefully, I don't really want more of these games, but if batsmen they face more of these games, they will be more experienced to deal in situations like these, where they won't really put pressure on themselves. And if a situation arises like this, they'll make sure that there's a partnership that goes on, and they just don't put pressure on the number 5, 6, and 7 batsmen. Well, a lot of what has been spoken on the ground, I don't really know. I have just told my player, not to abuse anyone, because that's something that's definitely unacceptable. And, I'm behind the stump, so I don't really know what's happening between the runner and the mid-off fielder or something like that. So I also keep telling the umpire, if there's anything and if you feel, there's something wrong, please tell me, and, appropriately it will be handled. But at the same time, you don't want players to be like not speaking anything, just standing there and playing the game of cricket. So overall, I don't really know what's happening, but both the sides, they have handled it quite well, and till it stays on the field, it's fair enough. Well, I'll tell you, when you're so close to the boundary at times, it's like how you play spinners. That time you step out and you play. So what we have felt is at times when continuous sledging is going on, at times you are very close to the boundary, and it happens from both the sides. But what's important is, as individuals and international cricketers and responsible cricketers, it's important that you don't cross the boundary, because, once this chit-chat goes on, also what happens is you're batting, you're fielding, or you're bowling, that heat of the moment, at times you say something. So that's the time when the opposition, they have to neglect it, saying, okay, it's just the heat of moment and he's not really mean something like that. And if that is done from both sides, you'll see peaceful but aggressive cricket over the period of time. I was ready to play, I had played 14-15 overs, another 4 overs. Maybe they were too tired to bowl 4 overs. That's a very Aussie answer I've given. Generally, I would have said, okay.